Welcome to City Talk. It's About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy with Tabnie Dozier. Woo, woo. Welcome back. I'm so excited you're here. We are Dream Pilot Films in Sparks, Nevada. We are excited. A lot of times I'm not ready to go into the Christmas season. It's like mid-November, November right now. But, you know, the Pioneer Center in Reno, they have all these cool things coming up, and the Grinch Stole Christmas. I'm excited. So I'm ready to perk up for Christmas, even though he's a little grumpy and I'm a little grumpy, but that's okay. We always end perky and happy. I'm really excited about that. We're going to have Dennyse and Adam back on set. They've been on set a few times, and I love when they're here. What have you been up to? You have been traveling quite a bit, so share a little bit about your destinations you've been at.
The most recent, which is incredible, I was in Nashville and Shelbyville, Tennessee. Was chosen to be flown out by Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey, which is one of our nation's, Nearest Green, a former slave, taught Jack Daniel everything he knows about whiskey distillation. But you think in the early 1900s, a country didn't recognize, a black man's excellence. Now, the company has 400 plus acres. They took us to the steps that he walked to the I have chills, to where he would get the water to teach Jack Daniel how to distill. He is America's first black whiskey distiller, and being on those grounds, Deb,
you had to just feel like a whole nother world. Your heart must have been pounding.
Like my ancestors were right there with me.
They were.
Absolutely. And so that was incredible. The goal is to help storytell and tell that story across the globe. And so to be a part of that trip, and I'm from Kentucky, so I had bourbon in my baby bottle, baby. So I'm no stranger to it. But Uncle Nearest has only been around for 6 years. And now, it's a global brand.
I'm excited.
So that was really great. Went to see Beyonce, saw the Renaissance World Tour.
Oh my God.
In Houston, Texas, her hometown, which was spectacular. So I'm just carrying this magnificent energy.
I can tell. So before we continue on, I want to thank you, Tabnie, because Tabnie, we love Tabnie, but Tabnie's been so busy lately traveling the world, we won't be able to get her as much, but I wanted them to know that we will miss you when you are not here, and when you're back visiting, we'd love to have you pop on set. But you bring such class and goodness and kindness to everybody around you, and I know that as you're traveling about, you're going to be sharing all those stories. So I'm happy that you get to share a few more stories with us today.
Well, thank you and your team before we get into your looks, because it's a big deal to be trusted and respected, leaving the corporate realm and being on my own full time. It's a beautiful space and a beautiful problem to have, to say, Deb, I'm getting booked too tight, but you respect me, you appreciate me, you love me, and I love you back.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, you are looking good too. We've got the crew Arquette dress with the beaded shawl. It's giving holiday. It's giving fantastic, sleek, and honey, these bar 3 boots.
Wait, hold on. We got the boots.
I did not recognize the bracelet.
Look at this. It has the green for the Grinch.
You did so well.
Well, Blythe did well. let me I did not do well. Blythe did well. So yeah.
It looks great. The frog bracelet, the bar 3 boots,
cool earrings,
and the Heidi Doll earrings.
I'm excited.
You're looking great.
I'm getting ready for the holidays, and of course, let me show the hair here. We got the caliber braid. And I went to Soak Spa. Got my nail.
Tried some color?
I do. Look, I don't know how much color, but it's a little bit more color.
It is.
Can you tell? I don't know. For me,
your taste, it is.
And I'm going to spice it up to like a fall kind of a
maybe some burgundy, some burnt
like a burnt orange, maybe.
Go dance.
Not orange, but like
dance.
in between. I know. I'm just like
We're going to break you out of the shell.
I tried. So I'm excited. So I don't know what I would do without everybody. So I'm really excited for the show today. And I'm excited that the holidays are coming. And I want to dedicate this show and next week's show to Grandma B, my mom.
Okay.
I know we talk about her a lot, but I've been going back and forth from LA to Reno. And so I may not be my perkiest self, but I just want to be real, that sometimes life happens and gets in the way. And you know, caregiving is amazing, and I've done it quite often for different family members. So next week we're talking adoption. So you'll be able to put these two together of why today's just as important.
Well, it's huge. You know,
huge.
when you're front facing, people don't recognize, you know, you have to put on a face.
Yeah.
When sometimes you're not at your best. So kudos to you for pushing through.
I'm pushing through.
Good.
That's because I'm not going to be grumpy like the Grinch. And I'm going to take a break. We come back. We're going to talk about the Grinch. So stay tuned. It's About Town Deb and Tabnie.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
It's Broadway's #1 holiday hit musical, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical. November 21st through 26th, Pioneer Center. On sale now.
Welcome back to City Talk. It's Debbie McCarthy, About Town Deb. Tabnie Dozier, of course, is my co-host, Dream Pilot Films. And who do we have on set with us today, Tabnie?
Yay, Miss Dennyse. And I love the spelling of your name.
Oh, thank you
by
so
the way.
much.
It's so unique. And we have Dennyse Sewell and Adam Cates. We're so happy to have you. We have a quote that we want to
we're going to get that in because we are talking about the Grinch.
It's perfect.
You know? So you know me and my quotes. The Grinch may have stolen the presents, but he couldn't steal our Christmas spirit. So let's talk about that Christmas spirit right now.
Yes, this is exciting. Before we dive into the Grinch, can we recap?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Tina Turner. I mean, y'all have been busy.
Yes.
It's a good season, right?
Yes,
How you
really
feeling?
fantastic. Oh my gosh. We are always so grateful to the Reno community for coming out to support these shows that we bring. It's always a gamble, right? Will people respond to the shows? Will they connect with them? Yeah. And with Tina, when we presented that back in October, our audiences showed up in a big way, and they really met the emotional intensity of that show with open arms, and we're just so thrilled at how well it went. I personally thought the show was incredible.
Yes.
Such a strong way to kick off the season.
Good.
You know, when you said emotional, whew,
Yes.
it was incredibly touching and emotional for me. And I was there with Georgia, and I really didn't know the whole story. I'm just going to be honest. I had no idea the abuse she took.
Right.
And when the first scene came out and there was like a hand thing, I went, I went,
Yes.
I like,
Out
get,
loud.
Yeah.
I did it out loud. And I
absolutely.
felt my heart was like, oh my gosh, like, this is real. And I mean,
Yes.
it wasn't real on set, but it brought me to a place that I didn't really want to be at.
Yes.
Right, you're in the room with it.
I'm
You're
in the
not
room with it.
watching it on a screen.
I'm in the room with it.
Yes.
And I just sat there, and everybody around us, the women especially, and the men, they were like, whoa, did that just happen?
Yeah.
And then all throughout, as the story unfolded, I kept thinking, like, help her.
Right.
Is she going to help her? And it was so real to see the characters around her, and then the music, and it was, I don't even know how the characters played that without feeling like they were.
Well, that's what, like, we talked about it a lot, and just
Absolutely.
in terms of a bio musical or a jukebox musical, the structure was so different than other shows. Like, they made the audience do a little bit of work. They didn't give you the Tina Turner that you know until the end.
I know.
You know, they made you dig
Absolutely.
into who she was as a person and her life and the real things she went through. And then they're like, and here's your icon that you've known your whole
And
life.
that's what I was going to
Yes.
say.
It's
She's a
beautiful.
global icon.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even for Deb, I mean, there are so many people who are not aware of her background. They see
Absolutely.
the glitz and
Yes.
the glamour, and they do not know what she went through.
Yes.
So, like you said, there has to be that nerves. How will the audience
Yes.
accept? How will this community?
Yes.
And just the lessons learned.
But the women,
Yeah.
I left, when I walked out of that show, my head was a little higher. I was like, I got this, man. We got this. And I watched the women and their kids, people around us, they all had this energy, like we just were lifted up, and we feel like we can conquer this now. We can believe in ourselves. We can ask for help. I still can't. I'm still
Tina
overwhelmed.
Turner is a movement. She's
Absolutely.
beyond
A
an
movement.
icon.
Yeah.
She is a
Absolutely.
movement. Her spirit, her energy is infectious and
Absolutely.
contagious. And I'm so glad to say
No,
you felt that.
and the
You hear
other
me
cool
say it.
thing was before the show, you guys partnered with Wild River Grill, and they always do this cool menu it's just amazing. And we were also promoting Northern Nevada Children's Cancer Foundation on that same night for Natalia's night. So the guests who were coming in were supporting that. They were enjoying, Wild River Grill. But watching everybody come in to have their meal and then watching them head out, they came in with such like, we're so excited for this, the buildup of it. And then to just watch them, they were dressed up. They felt like this was an adventure and a storytelling time. I just was honored just to even be at Walter Grill to watch the guests prepare to go. Like they were preparing for the emotion.
And it's an incredible thing. Again, over 11,000 people came to see the Tina Turner musical. An incredible impact on the community, the people who came and were touched by that story. And again, we know Tina, the global icon, but the individual human being, the woman who went through those struggles to arrive at that place of power. The story on stage was her journey as a human. It was not a Tina Turner impersonation concert.
Right.
It was the story of the human being, the woman who went through the transformative moments to come out the other side stronger, which is the feeling you felt at the end. Incredible storytelling in that show.
You guys, thank you for bringing that to Reno. We need it. We all need reminders that we need to stand up for ourselves. And I'm so glad at the end we got to see her succeed, and just to the music and the voices, anyway.
Yes.
And that's the power of live theater, right? In the moment, in the room, you are with the characters, you go on the journey with them. You can't escape from it. You can't change the channel. You are going through that journey with them. You're feeling those feelings as they feel them too.
And I also feel you, the pioneer, your whole team, you are bringing back the arts and the music and going to musicals. You're bringing it back. Like years ago, I lived in Nebraska for a while, and I was going to different plays and musicals, and I'm like, this is so cool. And then all of a sudden, you get busy, you have kids, and I don't have time to go. And now it's like it's in my backyard. And when you have family come to town, you really need to book those guests, and it's a great gift to give somebody.
Absolutely.
It's time you could spend with somebody. That's the best birthday gift, a Valentine's gift, a holiday gift, Christmas gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of
exactly.
So good transition into the best gift is the latest. So what is up next?
That's right. So we kicked off the season at the Pioneer Center with Tina Turner. The next Broadway show to actually be on our stage at the Pioneer Center will be Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It'll be with us the week of Thanksgiving, so a perfect entry into the holiday season with something family friendly, something warm, something, again, very uplifting. You go on some emotional journeys through the Grinch as well, just not quite as harrowing of a journey as you go on through Tina.
But I think it's a wonderful parallel, Tina being an icon, a staple in the fabric of music over the last half a century, to the Grinch, which is a staple for families, a staple
it's
for
Americana
children.
in its own way, for sure. That Dr. Seuss wrote the book, I think it was published in the mid-50s, 1957, and then the animated special was 1966. And so for it's been a part of our lives every year for generations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to see it in a new iteration, like the Broadway musical, is really, really special. It's still built for families, so it's only 85 minutes, no intermission. So it's great for kids, great for families. And the schedule's a little bit different. The times are a little bit earlier. So it's a 7 p.m. showtime instead of 8 p.m. on most nights. 3 p.m. matinees, so it just sort
That's
of
perfect for the kids.
It's really built for families to be able to come enjoy it together.
And that's what I was going to ask was, what can people anticipate with the musical? You've already started to allude to it, both of you. It's family friendly, no intermission. Does it have those staples though of Whoville?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and parts of the show will look as though you're in the storybook.
Okay.
Parts of them, of course, are the actors bringing it to life, but the sets, the lighting, the way they create the show on stage, it's as though you fall into the pages of the classic storybook. So kids will see things they recognize. But again, rather than on TV where you can pause, you can stop the action, you are swept up in the story.
Right.
It's happening live with you in the moment. We think it's really a fantastic way for kids to experience Broadway and for whole families to come together and to touch on that holiday spirit.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the sets. You already beat me to the question. So is there anything special that we could anticipate? Like, I'm sure there's going to be like bright colors and bright lights, but is there anything else we could expect?
I think just
Or
all the
just
Christmas
the music?
feel good that you
Yeah.
expect. We won't give away any of the secrets because we want you to feel it in the moment in the audience.
Why not?
I think you'll see the characters as you know and love them.
As
in many
as a
ways.
child,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
you know, because there's been so many variations.
Yeah.
Like when you said what 19, what was
The 60s was the
60s.
animated. I
Yeah.
knew the
That was the
60s. I would know
animated,
it
yeah.
was written in the 50s.
Yeah,
yeah,
the book came
so-
out about 10 years before the animated
So I was a
special.
little girl when it first came out, but then I remember also seeing it in the movie form, which it was okay, but I'm really looking forward to seeing it on stage. I feel like it's going to be, like you said, we're going to be up close and personal.
There is one very fun thing about the musical, though.
What?
The character Max, the dog.
Yeah.
You know,
the Grinch's dog.
the Grinch's dog. He wears the big, like, he puts the antler on it.
antlers.
So he has a very key role in the musical.
That's a good
Can you tell us?
Well,
That's a good sneak peek.
It's up to you if you want to give anything away.
I mean, just know that we are seeing this story through Max's eyes.
Okay.
So it is a
Through
little bit of a
Max's
different
eyes.
lens to see how Max views the story of the Grinch.
Oh.
He's my
Yeah.
favorite
Yeah.
character.
I
in the
cannot
animated one.
wait.
Oh my
I
gosh.
cannot wait. Well, we are going to take a break and we're going to come back, continue talking. Here is my quote for this one. I'm not going to forget. Christmas isn't about the gifts under the tree. It's about the love in our hearts. And I have a feeling that little Max has lots of love in his heart. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It's About Town Deb's Tabnie. Be right back.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
The timeless story you know and love is now Broadway's #1 holiday hit musical, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical. Catch the Grinch in this heartwarming holiday classic, perfect for the entire family. 100 times better than any bedtime story. Cheers the New York Times. November 21st through 26th, Pioneer Center. On sale at pioneercenter.com or the Pioneer Center box office. Catch the Grinch live for the holidays.
Welcome back. It's About Town Deb. Debbie McCarthy with City Talk. We are at Dream Pilot Films in Sparks, Nevada. Tabnie is on set. We have Denise and we have Adam back. I love having you guys. I feel like this is like your home right now.
Thank you.
Like,
We love being
when-
here.
I
Thank
love
you
it.
so
Like
much.
when I go to Pioneer, I'm like, hey, this is your place. I'm like hanging
That's
out.
right. Now
in
we're coming to your place.
And you could come
No,
here.
but I see you on the street.
I know.
Because you truly are about town. I'm like,
You did.
About town Deb is right there.
And I grabbed
was like,
and I
gotta
grabbed a
find you.
selfie. Here, boom. No, I always tell people we have to do the traditional selfie. So with them, we were talking about the emotions, even like with Tina Turner. I think as a pioneer, everything you bring, it's about bringing us to ground us and bring us
Absolutely.
back. So with the Grinch, even though he's a little grumpy, at the end he comes around. But he did teach us quite a few lessons. So I thought we would talk about some of those lessons and see how it would affect us. So one of the first one is, one act of kindness can change a person's life. So has that ever happened to either of you where somebody's done something so special to you that you never forgot?
Oh, absolutely.
Would you mind sharing?
How do you pick just one?
Well, you could pick as many,
I
but-
had some incredible mentors through, especially the early part of my adult life that just gave me a chance. Let me be in a room for, some big high profile thing where I could
Shine.
learn. I worked for many years as a director and choreographer, and I didn't learn how to do that in school. I learned it as an apprentice to other directors and choreographers, and they changed my life over and over and over. I feel like it's part of my job as an
give
artist
back?
and a human to find those next generations of kids to pass it on, because it was so generous.
Well,
That's a good one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Denise?
And it's especially relevant for children, right? The world is so uncertain, so scary for so many children that an act of kindness, a safe space, can be so transformative for children. And that can come from a neighbor, from a teacher, from a parent. But that kindness, that opportunity to show someone that there's a place for them in the world, I think is so radically necessary for all of us.
Agreed.
And can sometimes be rare.
Yeah, I think another big lesson, sometimes when people are hurtful or unkind in their actions, there's usually something deeper,
Yes,
right? And so
absolutely.
you think about, I hear a lot of natives or transplants, oh, the secret's getting out, our traffic's getting so bad, things are changing in Reno Sparks. Think about when someone's slow in front of you, what if it's a mom with a birthday cake?
Yeah.
in the back seat.
Right.
Or
What
it's
if
your
you
grandpa
switch
or
that-
grandma, and they're driving like me, and they're scared and they're on the freeway.
Absolutely.
What if you switch that perspective? So talk about the Grinch, right? He was unkind, he was hurtful, he was a Grinch, but it was so much deeper.
Absolutely. He was isolated. He was alone. He was the only one of his Grinchy kind, right?
Right.
And so his joyful neighbors in Whoville, they had community, they had each other, they had familiarity. He was alone on this snowy mountaintop. That isolation, I think, that separation can cause those feelings. And by the end of his journey, he is embraced by the Who's. He's part of their community. And his heart grows many sizes because of that. So it's that connection, that understanding of each other.
That's what we went through with a global public
I was
health
just going to
crisis.
say that. I was just going to say that.
Take it.
A lot of people were left alone and felt unconnected. And I think even though we're through most of the pandemic, there's still, I think about our seniors. Now I'm a caregiver again, and the holidays are coming, and we need to be aware of that. If you have a neighbor, an aunt, an uncle, reach out, even if it's just like you said, a simple, hey, how you doing? Or take out their trash, or you don't really know what's happening in the house next door, or even in the room, your own home with your children. I think this is the time that we need to reach out and don't take things for granted and ask, how are you? Like really, it's okay that you're having a crappy day. Tell me it's okay.
Yes.
And I think that like with the Grinch, he had probably tons of crappy days up there,
Right.
but they didn't give up on him.
Right.
Right.
And in the end, he's showing his heart, and I think that's what it's about. Tabnie, I'm sure that you've in your young life, you're so amazing. Was there somebody who reached out to you who helped you on your journey?
Oh man, getting started. My background, if you're not familiar, I'm an Emmy Award winning journalist, and I retired from local news after 11-year career across the nation. So beginning, and we take you back, right? So I'm coming into graduating college, into the news realm as the digital age is coming. So there was no YouTube. When back in my day, there wasn't a YouTube, and there wasn't, how it is now. This is such a short span of time.
Sure,
But the
yeah.
technological advances are insane. But one of my best friend's mom, she is a journalist, and she was a local anchor on the TV, one of the local news stations in Lexington, Kentucky, my hometown. And when I went to college, I started reaching out, what advice, can you mentor me? And she did that. And having someone who looked like me take me under their wing and give me some tidbits, our hair, our makeup, things are so different. That was huge for me to even have the confidence to say, well, someone else has done it, I can do it too. So on the professional realm, yes, that's my one of many, is someone taking me under their wing to say, well, these are the classes you need to take. Here's your speech, your on-camera mechanics, right?
Yeah, incredible.
Essential.
Incredible.
Essential.
And again, that's like that community reaching out and showing you that there's a place for you there, and making you part of something bigger than just yourself, which is what keeps you from being isolated. And it's what we strive to do all the time at the Pioneer, to be perfectly frank, is to bring people together, to invite them to our theater, to engage with these musicals that we're bringing, or all the other shows that happen at the Pioneer. It's about coming together, about bringing people out of isolation, connecting them with their neighbors, with complete strangers for shared
Connecting
experience.
your volunteers. I have to tell you, I made a point at the Tina show to say to each one, thank you for being here. Oh my gosh, thank you.
They're
Because
phenomenal.
they
They're
are
amazing
just, you
people.
walk in and you can tell they're welcoming you, and they're so proud to be a part
incredible.
of your family. So I just want to
And there are over
congratulate.
300 volunteers
That's
who give
incredible.
their time to the
Yeah.
Pioneer Center.
They do all of the ushering, all the ticket
Those are
scanning, the
volunteers.
guest services.
All
like,
volunteers.
they are volunteers.
Exceptional.
They are the heart. They are the beating heart of the
They talk about a strange lady who starts coming up and hugging us.
That would be-
It's me and Deb
that's
going
what I
together,
would-
crying.
I was
the steps, not
that's
even
why-
making it to our seats.
That's what I think. I keep thanking them all every time I see them.
This is new information to
That's
me.
incredible.
Well, I'm glad you know.
Anybody in a red vest when you come visit is a
But
volunteer.
think about that. They're giving their time and their hearts and their talents, and sometimes people could be grumpy.
Absolutely.
Like that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
where's my seat?
And my gosh, they're on the front lines, right? So when
Yes.
when
Yeah.
we reopened after the pandemic,
That
they
had
were
to be
on the
hard
front
for
lines
them.
with people who were terrified
Yep.
Yeah.
to come back together.
Yes.
And they were the first ones to say, come join us.
Yes.
We have something special waiting for you.
Wear your mask still if you like, if you're uncomfortable.
Yep,
I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah.
just that comfort, right? Because
Yes.
everyone's at different levels. Like you mentioned
Certainly.
about senior citizens and doing so much traveling. People
Yeah.
start to shame you if you don't know if that person has an autoimmune disease.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
Right.
lead with kindness.
Absolutely.
Lead with
right.
kindness.
It goes so much further.
And since we are on the topic of Christmas, I have one more of the lessons from the Grinch, and then we're going to take a break. And then we come back. Before we do our game, you have something new coming
Yeah,
up. So
speaking of
Christmas
seniors.
is far more than gifts under the tree. And I'm going to share a little bit of a gift. So Grandma B, I hope you don't mind, I'm going to share this because we're doing her bucket list, and she wanted pancakes. She wanted to go out and have pancakes. That was what she wanted. Like, some people ask for cars and TVs
skydiving
and
or
skydiving. She's like, I want to go with you and my grandson, and I want to have pancakes. And the other was she wanted to go to Knox Berry Farm to the chicken restaurant, and she wanted to have chicken, the dinner. And they were so kind to her there that I told them it was one of her wishes, and they came out as a team, the whole crew, and they put together a gift basket with all their stuff, and they all signed this big card and thank you for all the years she had been there from when they had first opened. So we need to, that's nothing you can wrap under a tree. So is there something that's touched you special that you've gotten a gift from somebody's heart? We have we're going to wrap, we'll come back for it.
Okay.
We're going to wrap it up. So it's About Town Deb. We're going to come back. We're going to finish off with that. We're going to talk about what's coming and then have a fun little quiz for you. Be right back.
Join the Circle of Life at the Lion King. Experience the world's #1 musical. Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Coming to Grand Theater at Grand Sierra Resort November 9th through 19th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com.
Welcome back. About Town Deb, City Talk. We are Dream Pilot Films. Tabnie, Dennyse, and Adam. I hope you don't mind that we're getting up close and personal, and we're just keeping it real today.
It's great.
I feel like we need to be us, and you out there listening, we got you, and we want you to realize that we all have moments, and we all have things, and we all have family, and I'm just honored that I could be here today and share how I'm feeling and be open about it. So of course, I missed the quote, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you the quote that I was supposed to give you before we left. Here we go. I don't do anything more for Christmas than is right here, my family. Lulu who. So we were just talking about that. So family is really, to me, what Christmas is about, what every day is about. Not just Christmas or Thanksgiving. Every day should be about the person next to you, your family, your coworkers. So I just want to touch on that, and then
let them respond.
I'm going to let them respond.
I'll
let you take it over, because
I'll go first. I think for me, like I said, coming from a journalism perspective, we are first responders. We work 365. We bring you, sometimes horrific news, sometimes joyous news. And this new space as a full-time entrepreneur, my gift under the tree is autonomy of my time. Now being able to travel, to spend time. I was seeing my family maybe once or twice a year. And now I can go as I please. And so that is something that can't be wrapped up.
No.
So that's my answer.
But the fact that you take your time to do that, you could have said, my autonomy is to be able to pamper myself all day, every day, right? Or to go shopping.
Yes.
But what you said was to connect with people. And I think that's exactly the best of what the holidays can bring out for us, right? The thing that you love about Thanksgiving, yes, it's the food, but it's the fact that you joined with the people you love to share that food. Christmas, of course, it's fun to unwrap presents. It's fun to see the joy in children's eyes, but it's because you're together that's meaningful. You're not alone in your apartment opening gifts and feeling joy, right? The idea is being together, having those moments of connection, those touch points.
Precisely.
It's always about that human moment that you can share with someone else.
I agree.
I mean, that was the whole moral of The Grinch, and
Yeah,
why
that's
Dr. Seuss wrote it, right?
Yeah.
It was about the author was seeing that Christmas in the 50s was getting very commercial, even at that time, and so he wrote the book as sort of a protest of that, saying, no, the holidays is about coming together. as a family or a found family or a community, whatever that is.
Whatever that is to you.
And the gift giving is secondary to that. So that's really an interesting point.
Absolutely.
And he wrote this before technology. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It was being commercialized in the 50s.
It was very wise.
We've totally failed him, but
Sorry, Dr. Seuss.
Sorry.
Capitalism
sorry,
is
Dr.
winning.
Seuss. But he was right. We're gonna, we're gonna keep working towards it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But the conversation we're having now shows he was right.
Yeah.
Even through all the stuff that's going on, this is what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about the newest gadget to get. We're talking about family and friends. So thank you, Mr. Grinch, for being grumpy and then coming out of it. So we've got through all that. You have something new coming up. It is the Golden Encore. What the heck is that?
That's right.
So, we've been talking about seniors and the isolationism.
Does it have to do with
all
seniors?
absolutely.
Absolutely it
People in their
does.
golden years.
Yep.
From the Golden Dome.
The title.
We've been talking about this since I joined the Pioneer Center, and probably you were talking about before I joined the Pioneer Center 2 years ago. But there's always been an outreach program for K through 6 children that's been associated with the center. And Dennyse was like, we want to do a program that's sort of similar for seniors. Like, how can we reach seniors that maybe no longer can come to the Pioneer Center?
I help?
How can we meet them? And by letting us talking about it, you're already helping.
Yes.
And do you want to talk about the study?
Yeah. So, we know about the importance of the arts and education for children, but what we don't tend to focus on is the needs of seniors. It's an often forgotten population, right? Especially in America. We tend to like to put things behind closed doors. And it's especially true with folks as they age. And here in Washoe County, we recently read some data. I believe the data is from 2020, so it's very recent.
March 2022.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
2022,
so it's not even
very
a year
recent
old.
data about isolation and loneliness in seniors, about barriers to participation, about feeling left out, and even absolutely horrifying, but suicide rates among senior citizens in Washoe County is double the national average. So we have an incredible problem here in our own community of senior citizens feeling detached from the rest of the world, lost, isolated, and to feel that they have no reason to continue on.
That affects mental health, physical health, all of it.
Absolutely. And we know that the arts have this incredible power, just like everything we're talking about today. It brings us together. It gives us things to connect about. It gives us things to feel inspired by. And we want to use the arts to engage this population that is so in need of engagement, but not just by saying, oh, well, we'll lower the ticket price, come on down if you can. We have to bring the arts to seniors where they live, where they congregate, where they receive care.
What if you can't leave? What if you
Well, that's with my mom right now. It's the same thing.
So we got a grant from Washoe County, the Washoe County Community Reinvestment Grant Program, to start this new outreach program that we are launching right now as this program is airing. It's called Golden Encore. It's a lifelong learning entertainment program for seniors. And we take professional performing artists who have designed programs into senior centers, public libraries, community spaces, but also assisted living facilities, memory care facilities, the places where seniors already live and gather, so they don't have to figure out how they're getting downtown. We want to come to them. All of our artists do seminars with different experts working in geriatric care, memory care, things like that, so they can design their programs in ways that also meet the health needs of the people in the room. It's very different how you work in a memory care facility versus in a senior center. And so the programming transforms to meet the patrons where they're at. The grant from Washoe County has been amazing because we're able to provide these performances for free for the first 6 months of the program to all of these venues, and that is huge. And we have to thank our Washoe County commissioners for
believing
their
in
trust.
Yes.
It's really huge, and I think this program is going to
this study is
be wonderful.
Just the facts you're dropping.
Absolutely.
You're right about being forgotten, the space, the isolation, not being able to get around. My goodness, a lot of them are retired on fixed incomes, and look at these prices right now.
Yep.
Right.
It's hard for them to have fun. you know?
Yeah,
Just
to
on the
join together
financial.
with their neighbors to find something common ground, to feel connected and joyful.
Yes.
And again, the arts have that ability to bring out the absolute best in people. And so if we intentionally create programming that reaches out to all segments of the population, that gives everyone the opportunity to access that, the lives that can be changed by something as small as an afternoon of coming together with programming that's designed for the demographic, for the age, for any sort of mobility constraints or cognitive decline, but that still has at the core of it the togetherness, the shared community experience.
And the storytelling, the center
Yeah.
of it all.
Our artists, we have musical groups, we have storytellers, we have movement, we have like the history of entertainment in Northern Nevada, and so there's such a variety of artists involved in the program as we move forward that, you know, each month when they go to these assisted living facilities, it's something new to look forward to, but it has aspects of memory recall and
So it's intentional.
Music is it's studied. We know that singing songs from your past can help counter early signs of dementia and Alzheimer's. It can push that development back, so you have more viable time, and we just want to be a part of helping the senior community through the medium that we know.
Yes.
Well,
And love.
the transportation part, I just want to go back because I'm dealing with lots of senior stuff now. That's my world, and it is so hard if they are in a wheelchair or a walker. They don't have that family member to even take them, to get them to the wheelchair, to the walker, to get to the door, to get them to, do you do an Uber? Do you have a Lyft? Do you have this?
Yes.
And it's, to bring it to them is such a gift. Talk about unwrapped gifts. That is a gift because they do feel isolated, even when you're in assisted living.
Absolutely.
It takes a while to get used to being around people, but thank you for that. That is, I am so excited. Whatever I can do, I would love to go there and be a cheerleader, be a greeter, be whatever. It is really part of who I am. I've been doing that since I was like 25. I was volunteering in senior citizens. I've been doing it my whole life. So it really is important to me to get that out and to share. So we're gonna have to play our game at the very last segment because it's time to wrap this one up. That's what happens. So we're gonna come back for after our final break. It's About Town Deb with City Talk. Welcome back to our final segment. It goes by so fast, and we didn't even get to play my game yet, a quiz. So I'm going to get a few of them in there because I spent a lot of time working on these, and I want to make sure I get that. We're learning so much today. Can't even breathe, can't even talk. I'm so grateful. I say the Pioneer Center is not just a dome. It's a family.
Well, it's a community
champion.
It's a community
champion.
I'm blown away by the last
I am
segment
so
still
excited.
of Golden Encore. Congrats
but
to
that
you.
is what we're about. We want to continue to give, and City Talk, we want to share that with you. So I'm going to have a little fun really quick because I don't want to get the wrap up here going on. So I'm going to say a quote or a sentence or part of a story, and you tell me who said it. Is either the Grinch or Cindy Lou Who. That's Cindy Lou Who. Okay. Who said, okay, here we go. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. Who said this, the Grinch or Cindy Lou Who?
I say Cindy.
I say Grinch. It sounds like an awareness moment.
Adam?
I'm going to guess Cindy Lou Who.
The Grinch. Good job. Okay, here we go. Okay, one man's toxic sludge is another man's potpourri. Grinch or Cindy Lou Who?
My guess is the Grinch.
I guess the Grinch.
Okay, there you go. Here we go.
It sounds like him, right?
Here we go. You can't hurt Christmas, Mr. Mayor, because it isn't about the gifts or the contest or the fancy lights. Who said that? Grinch or Cindy Lou Who?
Cindy Lou.
Maybe it's
Sounds
the
very
Grinch.
pure.
At the end? Is it the Grinch at the end?
It is Cindy Lou Who.
Oh.
Okay, here we go. Let me switch to this one. Okay. Here we go. It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags. Who said this, the Grinch or Cindy Lou Who?
I guess the Grinch.
I just feel like that's something Dr. Seuss said.
Oh, I probably.
Well, in the end, it's all what Dr.
Yes.
Seuss
Oh,
said.
that's true.
But I'll guess Cindy Lou Who.
It's the Grinch.
Oh, I'm doing
Okay,
terrible.
that's okay. Here we go. I'm
warned you.
gonna do.
Pretty
I'm gonna do
much.
one more. Christmas Day will always be just as long as we have. Who said this, the Grinch or Cindy Lou Who?
I'm just going to stick with Cindy Lou Who because eventually she's going to be
She's
the
gonna be
person
one.
that said
I'm going to say
right?
Grinch.
I'll say Cindy.
The narrator.
It was my
That was a trick one.
Well, you got prizes for us.
I got
with your-
prizes, so
not for me. I lost every.
there's a booby prize.
There's a prize for the lowest score. right?
Dorinda's
It's like
Chocolate
golf.
once again loves to donate to us.
They're
Yeah,
so
Mango.
great.
Oh my goodness.
And hold on, there's one more. Actually, to be honest with you, I won this at a raffle because
And
they
you re-gifted?
they donate so much. It was at Michael's Jewelry, and so you pick,
okay.
you each pick what you
that's
want.
nice.
Because that was a
Do you
movie-
prefer mango?
Whatever you.
I would
you
like
guys-
that. Was
Yeah.
that okay?
Yeah,
Thank you.
You guys
Oh,
all
I love
share.
the seashell.
Absolutely.
Different mangoes. This
So
is
we
Dorinda's
awesome.
is great.
Oh, they're
Love
so
We love Dorinda's, and
fabulous.
they're a huge part of every donation basket I ever have done since the beginning. They are always a part of it, and I just delivered 5 baskets yesterday for 5 different nonprofits that said, Deb, can you do a basket? So if you want a basket, you have to get way ahead because we're going to be booking them out next year.
Will you drop your website for
Yeah.
people watching before we get out of here?
Absolutely.
So they can get tickets and the dates of the show again.
Yeah, so all of the upcoming performances, information about Golden Encore, information about our children's programming, everything about the Pioneer Center, it's all on pioneercenter.com. There's all kinds of information, all kinds of opportunities. If you're a business who wants to get involved with the Pioneer in some way, there's just everything you'd need to know and all of our contact information.
Beautiful.
And the
Pioneercenter.com.
Grinch is running for 8
Yes.
performances, November 21st through the 26th. So that
Your birthday
entire
month.
week, that's
Your
right.
birthday
That's
month.
right.
That
Happy
entire
birthday
week of
month.
Thanksgiving.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday month.
Thanksgiving.
So I'm going to do some thank
Beautiful.
yous, and then I have 1 or 2 more quotes because they were my quotes, so I want to get them in. So without, as you know, we are right here at Dream Pilot Films. And without Dream Pilot Films, Design on Edge has been with me since day one. And I know they don't like when I overdo them, but seriously, they have been with me since day one. And they're a big part of why we are all connected. They've connected so many community businesses and leaders together. Surratt Law, Kim will be on next week. We're going to be talking about adoption. She's a family law attorney and does much more, and she's a big advocate for so many things and a lobbyist as well. Design on Edge, we said Design on Edge. New opportunity. Friends of Deb's, Kelly Mojo. Get your. You
It's
were
so
on.
good.
You were on
We
set
have
last
I
week.
was like,
enjoyed
I took it to my uncle.
Did you? And what did he
yeah,
say?
he loves it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I
so-
didn't share mine with anyone. That
Good
was all
girl.
mine.
That was all yours.
Absolutely not.
So you have an opportunity to be a product.
sparkling wine?
No, it's a sparkling wine, not like,
like a wine
bubble.
cocktail.
It's a
It's
wine
based
cocktail.
on a Basque drink, but better.
So good.
Delicious.
It's really good. So that will be under the Christmas tree, probably for many people. Like I say, Dorinda's Chocolate, they're everywhere. Kimmy Candy, labels, Soak Spa, Digiprint. I did actually, if I can find it, I try to write something. So let's see. Here we go. Let's see. This was supposed to be after our little contest. I was saying, let's share one final quote. In the Grinch's world, he learned that the best gifts of all are the gifts of ourselves. Because when we come together, we are one heart, one family, and that's the true magic of Christmas. Me.
Good
That's
job.
good.
It's your
We'll take it.
quote.
Because I told Courtney when I said together we're one heart, it wasn't just a pandemic one. I was continuing it. So
That's
you're
your
going to be
mantra.
stuck with me forever with together we're one heart. I'm just really grateful. And like I say, next week we're going to have Kim Surratt on. And can you guys, seriously, this is your home, whatever you need. And I am ready for the senior encore.
All right.
Seriously,
Fabulous.
I
Please come.
will be a volunteer. I will
right.
go. I will hold hands. I will push wheelchairs. I will do whatever you need me to do.
Popcorn for
Pop.
him.
Well, I don't know. I don't cook. I might burn the popcorn. But I'm just really, and Tabnie, thank you.
Thank you.
You could be a part of our show, About Town Deb. Just go to abouttowndeb.com. Product placement, commercials, advertising, anything you want, we got you covered. And this is the final quote, I promise you, and this is what I want to end with. Each and every day, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be here with all of you, sharing the magic of the season and the joy of the holidays. And that means you too. It's About Town Deb. See you next week.